Warning! Bad string bending can trash your playing like almost nothing else. Hi, I'm James from James Shipway Guitar and Total Guitar Lab, and in this video I'm going to show you 5 of the most common bending mistakes that guitar players make. I'll show you what they are, how to spot them, and how to avoid them. And don't worry if you think you're making some of these mistakes, because I'm also going to show you how you can fix them up and get your bending sounding awesome. Now make sure to watch the whole of this lesson, because the 2 mistakes I'll point out at the end of the video are 2 of the most important ones to get right. Getting these wrong can be fatal for your bending. Okay, let's jump into the lesson. Hand position is crucial when it comes to bending strings. So let's start by looking at a couple of common hand position mistakes that players often make. I think it's best to have your thumb over the top of the neck when you bend. Now you will see some players bending with it behind the neck, but in my experience most people can bend much better if they've got their thumb over the top here. It gives you a very stable and strong bending hand position. It helps you grip the string so that you don't lose it as you bend it up. And it just gives you more strength and control and helps you really lever the string up or down for big controlled sounding bends. Notice it's not down here or up here. It's kind of in line with my middle finger, just giving me that really compact and powerful bending hand position. Whichever finger you're bending with, make sure you're backing it up with other fingers wherever possible. I mean, you'd never want to bend like this. It's really difficult. It sounds horrible. If I'm bending with my third finger, I'm going to back it up with my first and my second fingers. They're not pressing down really hard on the string there, but they're getting a good solid grip of that string and just helping give a bit of extra strength to move it. If you have trouble keeping your bends sounding and find that they fizzle out and go dead too quickly, well, check this one out, because you'll probably find that it fixes that problem straight away. If you find your bends dying out like this, then you're probably not pinning the string firmly enough to the fretboard. We need to press it in quite hard and then bend it up. I've got a good solid grip on that string there. I'm really pressing it in. Now this applies when we're bending up and also if we're letting a bend down. We have to keep pinning it even though we're letting the string back down to its original pitch. That stops this kind of thing happening, where you lose it at the last minute. So pin your string, push it up, and keep the pressure on if you're letting it down. This is the part of my video where I ask you to subscribe to my channel for more licks, tips, lessons and solos to help you become the guitar player that you want to be. Hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss out, and we'll get straight back on with the lesson. Many players only use their third finger when they bend strings. Now this is probably the strongest and best finger to bend with in many ways, but it can also be a limitation, so let's have a look at what you can do about that. The solution is quite simple. Just take some of your favourite bends and practice bending them with some other fingers. Let's take this 8th fret bending up to 10 on the B string. Instead of using our third finger like I was a moment ago, let's use our second finger. Notice the hand position is still the same. Thumb over, I'm backing up with my first finger. I'm just going to use my second finger to lever the string up. You can also practice with your first finger, and this one's going to take a little bit of practice to get. I'm kind of gripping the string with the side of my first finger a little bit more, keeping my thumb over and using all my strength just to lever the string up towards the ceiling. These are probably going to feel a bit tricky to start with, but persevere with them because it's going to take a little while to build up the necessary strength. Bending with your 4th or pinky finger is less common, but you might want to practice that as well if you think you're going to use this finger to bend with. If you're pushing the string too far when you bend or not pushing it far enough, then your bend is going to sound out of tune, and this is really going to spoil the sound of your playing. So let's have a look at what we can do to improve the tuning of our bends. Here's a really great exercise for nailing the tuning of your bends. I'm going to demonstrate it with this B string bend 8 up to 10 that we've been using so far in this lesson. Play the note you're bending from, then play the note that you're bending up to. So I'm picking 8, then I'm picking 10 because I'm bending up to 10. Play that a few times to get the sound of it in your ears. Then go back to your first note and slowly bend it up until it matches the second note. The idea here is we're learning to measure exactly how far to bend the string to get it in tune. Once you've done that a few times, just shake out your hand, grab the string and without thinking about it too much, bend it straight up to pitch. If you find you're still bending over a little bit like this, or slightly under, then go back to the stage where you're learning to measure the bend. Do that a few more times, and then go to the one where you just bend straight up. With a bit of practice, you'll soon start to get that tuning. Now this exercise really works, and you'll often see a big improvement after just a minute or two. So use it to fine tune those bends. When we've bent the string, we want to be in control of how long we're going to hold it up for, when we want to let it down, and when we want to shut it off completely. And this is something which many guitar players struggle with, resulting in sloppy and unfinished sounding bends. Now it all comes down to a couple of essential muting techniques, which we're going to look at now. Often you'll hear players bend up a string, but they don't know how to get rid of it, and they're sort of left holding it there without really knowing how to stop it sounding. It's also very common to hear a slight let down of the bend before they go to the next note, like this. And string noise can also be a problem when bending, this kind of thing. Lots of these problems can be solved by muting with your picking hand. When the bend is done, cut it off by gently letting your picking hand fall onto the string you're bending. This silences it, making for a tidy finish instead of a sloppy, noisy one. You can see it's not a big movement, it's just a very small one. As you do this, you can also slightly release the pressure on the string with your fretting hand. Don't lift your fingers away completely. Just relax them, stay on the string and gently let the string down. Both of these techniques take a little practice to get the hang of, but they'll make an enormous difference to the sound of your bends. For more strategies and tips to improve your playing faster than ever before, join my free online community. You'll get access to exclusive courses like Improvisation Bootcamp and Chop Builder, plus my members only sessions. I'd love to welcome you into the free members area and show you around, so click the link in the description below and you can sign up on the next page. So there you go, 5 bending mistakes to watch for and avoid and how to fix them. Now don't worry if you're making some of these, the most important thing is just to start correcting them right away. So I hope the tips in this video help you to improve your bending and overcome any annoying bending problems which you've been struggling with. Investing time in improving our bending is always a good thing, it's such an important technique to get right. So good luck with these, have fun, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.